Hello, and welcome to my presentation, Positive Psychology Tools for Healthcare for Working Professionals. Today's presentation is 30 minutes long, and I will be offering you some healthy tips either to get back on track or to start a healthy self-care routine. Self-care including exercise and food and sleep habits, and also different strategies to reduce your stress and to keep your relationships in a positive place. So I hope you enjoyed today's presentation, and feel free to reach out to me with any questions if you should have any, and I will be happy to answer you. A little bit about myself. My name is Gemma Nastasi, and I have a business in Red Bank, New Jersey called Gemma Health Coach. I am also an author of 2 books, The Positive Psychology Diet, 21 Days to a Happier and Healthier Life, and Happiness is My Choice, A Practical Guide to Happiness. I am a National Board Certified Health and Wellness Coach, and I hold certifications in positive psychology, holistic nutrition, and life coaching. I'm a motivational keynote speaker. I'm also present corporate workshops and create them and present them. I do individual coaching and also group coaching on Zoom and in my office. It's a little bit about me, and then you might be asking yourself, why do we need positive psychology? Well, positive psychology, if you haven't heard of it, is really is the study of what makes us the happiest, what makes a good life. Now, this is a new psychology because basically traditional psychology was we were focusing on what's wrong with me. With positive psychology, it's like, what is right with me? And the reason that we need that is because we are wired for negativity. It takes 5 to 7 positive things to cancel out 1 negative. So let's just say you had the perfect day. Everything went wonderful. And on the way home, you were stopped by a police officer for a taillight, something you had no idea was wrong with your car, and you got a ticket. Trust me, that will be the one thing you will be talking about instead of all the wonderful things that happened that day, because that's what happens to us. We focus on the negative, and the negative things are stronger than the positive. So when you have that, when you're mindful of that, you're able to control how you handle the negative things and focus on more positive things in your life. So relationships are one of the most important things to our happiness, having good quality relationships. So how do you do that in a time when everything's been so stressful? Well, we've had a lot of changes, as you know, and we've discussed that, that COVID is definitely something that has affected a lot of people, if not everyone's life in one way or another. And people that have had difficulties, with maybe dealing with stress in their lives anyway, have now this added stress of knowing that they have to keep safe, and the other pressures that come along with having a change in the way we live our lives. So be mindful of that. If you have a coworker that you find is difficult, then set your boundaries. Make sure that you try to avoid conflicts with them. Usually when you get into a conflict with someone, whether it's a coworker or a family member, you will find that you will suffer the consequences of it in one way or another. Even if you're right, you want to try to avoid that. Protect yourself with your boundaries. If someone is the type that wants to drop in all the time without calling, then you know that might be something that is not acceptable for you. Let them know it in a nice way. Say, listen, I love to see you, but it's much better for me when I'm in a better place and I've got so much going on. So let's plan it. Don't just stop by, because I really don't feel like I'm my best self when I don't have, expected company. They get their feelings hurt, it's too bad, but you say it in a nice way. You have to also put your boundaries up. If you don't, people will walk all over them. There was a study, the longest study ever, on what makes a good life, and it was done by Harvard University. It's still going on now. It started in 1938, and they found out the study started with the poorest boys in Boston and the freshmen at Harvard University. And they studied them throughout their lives. Some of them are still in the study now, and they wanted to see what would make them the happiest, the best life, who would, which group would have the best life. And they found that it didn't matter what their backgrounds were. It mattered what relationships they had. They had good quality relationships. The study showed that they lived longer, they were happier, and they were healthier. So try to keep your relationships in a positive place. Nurture them. Avoid people where you think there might be conflict, but always, set your boundaries and try to be, as positive as you can, especially at times when you know that things have been a lot more negative lately. So, try work on your relationships. That will keep you the happiest and healthiest, and you'll live longer. So I get a lot of people that have told me that there's a lot of stress going on, in the workplace or at home with all the changes that we've had to go through during COVID. People worried about getting sick and things like that, which is totally understandable. So we're born with the natural ability to distress through our vagus nerve. So I love this meditation because you're focusing on your breath. And it's a great way to reduce your stress. You can do this like 3 or 4 times a day. I like to do it 4 times a day and keep doing it. And the research has shown that it will help you to feel more peaceful. So the benefits are it reduces your stress. If you do it before bed, it will improve your sleep. It improves your motor memory, and it improves pain processing. Very simple. It's called the 4-7-8 breathing. Get into a comfortable position, lie down, put your tongue on the soft tissue behind your upper front teeth. Inhale through your nose for the count of 4. Hold for a count of 7. And exhale through your mouth, keeping your tongue on the soft tissue of the upper front teeth for a count of 8. And do this for 4 times a day for 6 weeks, and you should see a difference in your stress levels. Hopefully you will feel much more relaxed by doing that, and it's a great way to reduce your stress. So if you're feeling, a lot of stress, then I, definitely try this. It should be very helpful for you to be able to do that. Thing that in self-care is a whole bunch of things. You got to eat healthy, exercise, sleep well, and keep things simple and think positive. So, when I think keep things simple, I think about a lot of times when I tell my client, get out of your own head, because you're overthinking something. So self-care is, the way you think, the way you eat, the way you exercise, and making sure that you get enough sleep. And that's really, really important when you're thinking about taking care of yourself. So we'll dive into each one of these, and hopefully you will get some healthy tips on how to do all this. So immune boosting foods, especially important now. Rainbow of colors, think about that. Healthy whole foods, non-processed foods, blueberries, dark chocolate, salmon, broccoli, sweet potatoes, spinach, ginger, garlic, green tea, almonds, sunflower seeds, oranges, red bell peppers. All these foods are really, really good for you. See, the avocados are in there. Great choices. If you're getting salmon, get the wild king salmon, or the organic farm raised would be your best choices for that. And try to make sure that you plan a shopping list when you're going to go shopping. Make a list of incorporating these foods into what you eat. Now, I know some grocery stores even have the frozen fish. So if you're working and you want to, have some fish after work, some people will say, "Oh, well, I didn't get a chance to go to the store." So I haven't found that I really like the frozen salmon. If you ever come across one that you think is, after it's thawed out, that it tastes, really good, let me know, because I haven't found that yet. But the other fish, like halibut and Chilean sea bass, I have found that they're really pretty good when they're defrosted and cooked. So keep that in mind when you go to the grocery store. Have your list of things that of healthy foods and try to avoid the processed foods and buying food when you're really hungry. I definitely eat before you go to the grocery store. And when you get home from work, if you find that you're really, really hungry, make sure you have healthy choices around you, because you could eat without even knowing you ate anything. And it's important to have mindful eating, setting the place at your table for yourself, and making sure that you realize and relax and chew your food and everything like that, that this is a meal and this is a time when you're supposed to enjoy it, and also give yourself the nutrients it needs. Okay, so a lot of people ask me this one question: Gemma, do I have to buy organic all the time? And the answer is absolutely no, you do not. And how do I know what to buy organic? Well, each year the EPA comes out with a list of the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. The Dirty Dozen are foods that you must buy organic because the pesticide levels are too high for you to be able to, just buy them and regularly. So, that includes strawberries and spinach, kale, collard, mustard greens, nectarines, apples, grapes, cherries, peaches, pears, bell and hot peppers, celery, and tomatoes. Dirty Dozen must buy them organic. But there are plenty that are the Clean 15, like avocados. Don't buy the organic ones. You don't need to. Sweet corn, pineapples, onions, papaya, frozen sweet peas, eggplant, asparagus, broccoli, cabbage, kiwi fruit, cauliflower, mushrooms, honeydew, and cantaloupe. Those are foods that should be on your shopping list, and do not have to buy them organic. Make sure you have a variety so you don't get tired of the same thing over and over again. So here is a great workout that you could do, and actually you could do it in 15 minutes. Now, I hear a lot of my clients tell me that they don't have time to work out. So this is a great workout. It's high intensity interval training. It's called the Tabata workout. It was created by a Japanese scientist, Izumi Tabata. It really gives you great results. You can burn up to 15 calories in a minute. The heart pumps faster, it increases your endurance, and you burn lots of calories depending on the exercise. So actually what it is 20 seconds of a workout, high intensity. You could do squats, you could do knee lifts, jumping jacks, whatever it might be, and then 10 seconds of rest for 15 minutes. I would, after you do a set of 4, take a minute in between to rest. So do it for 4 minutes, take a minute in between to rest, in between 3 sets. So I would, this is a great quick workout. If you only had 4 minutes, you could actually do this and you would see some results. It's better than not working out at all. So if you find that you don't have a lot of time, look at the Tabata workouts. They're online. There's some great ones. Here's one that you can do if you want to, and I think you're going to find that when you change it up, it keeps it interesting, and so everyone can find that time, whether it be in the morning or when you come home from work, if you're up to it, or if you don't have time to work out during the week, try to keep active. Take the steps at work. Don't take the elevator, and make it so that you work out on the weekend. But keep in mind that keeping healthy with exercise is very important. The next thing that will help you to keep healthier and happier is getting enough sleep, and it's 7 to 9 hours to maintain good health. Helps to improve your attention, your memory, your learning, and the ability to control your emotions. People do not get enough sleep on a regular basis, have issues with weight gain, diabetes, high blood pressure, and depression. There are many health problems that you can have from not getting enough sleep. So how do you do that? A lot of people tell me that they have difficulty with it. Well, you can do the 4-7-8 breathing before you go to sleep. Make sure that you create a comfortable sleeping environment. The best temperature is 65 degrees. Have a very dark room. Get your electronics out of the way, because they throw your body off kilter. And don't do anything like too strenuous, like strenuous exercise before you go to sleep. maybe, minimize the television watching and read a book. Just make sure that you get enough sleep. Because you could, get into a routine every night. Try not to eat, foods that are not healthy for you before you go to sleep. Stay away from caffeine, and clear your mind of any thoughts that you're from the day. Maybe you do your gratitude list, and before you go to sleep, so you can end the day with a positive thought. And gratitude is very important for that. So I hope that you all are getting enough sleep, and if you are, that adds to a healthy lifestyle. So thinking positive, now we're into positive thinking. Reframe your thoughts. Try to convert your adversity to positivity, or look for an opportunity in adversity. Actually, I had a situation where I was upset one day with a disruption in an office that I was renting, and I was really upset because I felt like there was a construction going on outside the office, and I really couldn't stay there. So I had to start looking for a new office, and I was really upset about it. It was really an adverse thing to do. I didn't want to do it, but I came across a new office that was so perfect for me. So sometimes something may look like it's adversity, but it's really something that you can turn into something positive. Instead of saying, I have to do something, it's the way you talk to yourself. Say, I get to do something. Give yourself that you get to do it. It's not that you have to do it. It makes a difference in how you think. Create positive things to look forward to. I always do this, especially if I have to go get a medical test or something. I hate those type of things. So I make sure that I have, something fun planned after it. And it's the little things. I mean, maybe after I've seen a couple of clients in my office and I get like maybe a half hour or an hour to myself, I might go have a cup of green tea at Starbucks or something and sit outside on a beautiful day and just take everything in. And that is my little reward I look forward to. I'm going to go have my tea in a little while. So come up with what it is for you, Write gratitude lists, very powerful. I strongly suggest them. I do them myself. You're changing the negativity bias. You're changing your negative thinking into positive. What are you happy about? What are you positive about? What are the good things in your life? And that's important to focus on those, because that's changing the pathways to your brain to make them more positive. Savor special moments and recall them. Go over the things that are really important to you, or that happened that were special moments, like a time that you can recall, like something that was really pleasant, whether it was an achievement or time with family that was really a special time. And take the snapshot in your brain and hold that thought for like 30-40 seconds so that you can remember it and call back, recall it back at a time when maybe you're not having such a great day. Focus on the positive things. Be mindful that negative are stronger, and focus on them. Lower your expectations. That gets us in trouble a lot of times when we expect somebody to act in a certain way. So if it's your birthday or something and you think that everybody's going to call you, there might be somebody that forgot your birthday, or there might be somebody that doesn't do what you wanted them to do. So expect on certain things, less than you really think you're going to get, and, try to get through it by creating things to be happy about for yourself, so that you're not dependent on other people if they don't come through the way you want them to. So listen to positive news. There's been enough negative news on the television, on, the radio, whatever. I would suggest that you focus on the positive news. And there are positive news stations or positive news things that you can listen to. So I would suggest replacing the negative news with the positive news. Be kind to yourself. It's really easy to be kind to somebody else. And a lot of times we are kinder to other people than we are to ourselves. So treat yourself the way you would treat a best friend, and know that you are the most important thing. If you're not happy and healthy, how are you going to be able to be there for other people the way you should be? Look your best. Looking your best is really important, especially when you don't feel your best, because if you wear something that makes you feel good, it elevates your mood. especially during the times, let's say you're working at home and you're like always wearing the same jeans or sweatpants and a top or whatever it is, and you didn't do your hair because you're working at home and you're just kind of letting yourself go, you're not going to feel great about yourself. So get dressed the way you would for work. Take care of yourself. Do what you can to take care of yourself, and wear bright colors. Put on the reds and the pinks and the nice colors that look good on you, green or whatever color it is that you feel that lifts your mood. That would be really helpful in becoming happier. Carry something inspirational with you. So, whether it's a lucky thing that you carry, a religious thing, something spiritual, something someone gave you, that always can make you feel better, especially if you're having a hard day. Have that thing in your pocket and hold on to it, or, think about that you feel like you have your lucky charm or something that makes you feel more positive. And add these type of strategies or tools into your life and you will be happier. So tap into your feel-good hormones. Okay, these you have, so you can definitely use them to become happier. So they're called the happiness chemicals. So dopamine reward is, how do you get that? You achieve a goal. Practice self-care and doing any of the things that I told you about. Eating healthy foods, very important. Celebrating a win. So many times positive things happen that we're like, oh wow, that's great, this and that, but we don't really take the time to celebrate for ourselves. So if there's been a promotion, or there's been some form of achievement, or if you've gotten through a difficult day, or if you passed some form of a test, or whatever it might be, completed a course, whatever it is, make sure that you celebrate it for yourself and focus on it. Anytime that I have ever received a thank you note or a gift from a client, every single note is on my desk where I can see them every single day, so that I know that I made a difference in people's lives. And that makes me happy to know that I've helped, because that's what I feel like one of my purposes in life are, to be there for people and to help increase their happiness and their health in their lives. So oxytocin, play with a pet. If you have a cat, if you have a dog, people with pets are happier. And if you don't, it's okay. Play with the baby. If it's not your baby, if it's somebody else's, go visit. Babies are adorable and they can make you really happier, unless you don't want to be around babies, which that's fine. Do what makes you happy. Hugging and holding hands. Well, there hasn't been a lot of that going on with COVID, but, with your own family members, maybe, reaching out and giving them a hug, because the interaction in the public with COVID is so limited. If you can hold someone's hand or hug someone, give them a compliment, making them feel good is going to help them to have a better day. And it also helps you to have a better day also. So keeping that in mind is giving someone a compliment is also like a gift that you give to yourself. Serotonin is for the mood. You can get that through meditation. You can get it through running. The sunshine, trying to get out in nature, even if it's a cold day. It's nice to, here it is, walking in nature. And if the sun's out, you're even getting an added benefit of serotonin. Endorphins comes from exercising, laughing, watching a comedy, or eating a piece of dark chocolate. Yes, dark chocolate is good for you. Moderation, don't eat the whole bar. I wouldn't suggest that, but enjoy it, savor it when you do have it. It's good for you. Okay, so here's 3 positive tools to become happier. Practicing gratitude. So the power of gratitude is so strong that it will actually change you. If you do anything for 21 days, it becomes the foundation of a habit. So I would strongly suggest that you do a gratitude list every day. The only thing I would say about the gratitude list is don't let it be the same as the day before. So the way you do that is you focus on what you're grateful for that day. So if there's things that you're grateful for that happened in your day, make sure that you write them down. Writing down is much more powerful when you actually see it. So write down the things you're grateful for and focus on that gratitude list. I like doing it before I go to sleep because I want to have happy things that I'm thinking about just at the end of the day. So you pick a time and try to do it the same time every day. Smile and laugh every day. You will absolutely be happier for sure. Watch a comedy on TV. There's so many funny things to watch. Smiling, if you smile at someone and they smile back, you both get the benefit. If they don't smile back, it's kind of sad, but what are you going to do? Not everybody likes to smile, but you did offer a smile to someone. And it does, even if you're not happy, you can fool your brain into thinking you're happy by smiling. Here it is, give someone a gift or a compliment. Well, there was that study where people had $10 to spend, and they could spend it on themselves or someone else, and the people that spent it on someone else were happier by far giving someone else a gift. So it could be a little something that you bring in for a coworker if they've been going through a tough time, a card in the mail, an unexpected card in the mail. We're so used to emailing and text messaging people. Wouldn't it be wonderful, if you got a card and it said, "I'm thinking of you, let's have lunch sometime," or something like that, or congratulations on your promotion. Anything that would, show thoughtfulness would be helpful, especially during times that are difficult for all of us or most of us. Okay, so goals make us happier. So how do you do that? So I've come up with a way to achieve SMART goals. And the reason they're helpful is they create clarity, focus, and motivation to achieve your goals. So how do you set a goal? You write it down, number one. You have to be specific. What steps will you take to achieve your goal? Define it in detail. Measurable. How will you know when you've achieved it? You got to track your progress. Achievable, realistic, and attainable. Now, I've had people come into my office and say, Gemma, I want to lose like 30 pounds by this year, and I want to lose 30 pounds. And I'll say, okay, so because I'm going to a wedding, and I'll say, when's the wedding? And they'll be like, in 2 months or something. And I'm like, okay, let's talk about this now. How are you going to do that? And I certainly, want them to explain to me what their thoughts are. And then we start to work with what's really realistic and how, we'll try to carve out their goal in the best way we can with having realistic goals set so that it becomes more attainable, because you don't want to set a goal that you can't attain. It works against you if you do that. Relevant. There should be a real benefit attached to achieving a goal. So if somebody says they want to lose weight because their doctor said that they need to lose weight, then that's for your health, for your benefit, and you're going to feel better. You're going to look better. So make sure there's real relevance to the goal. Accountability. Having external accountability significantly boost the productivity. So make sure that you have somebody that can hold you accountable, whether it be a spouse, a friend, a coworker, anyone that you feel comfortable in confiding with. A lot of my clients tell me to hold them accountable. And usually at the end of our sessions, I will ask them if they would like to set a goal for the next session after we've discussed some of their desires during the coaching session. A lot of times my clients do set the goal, and I, ask them, is it okay if I ask you about it the next time we meet? And they all are very thrilled to have me hold them accountable. And also, most times they do achieve their goals, and they're really excited to share that with me, as I am to hear it. So time bound, your goal should have time related parameters so that you know how to stay on track. Like in 2 weeks, I expect to do this, and in another 2 weeks, I expect to do that. And by the end of a month, this is the achievement of my goal, whatever the goal would be. Reminders and cues, set alarms or create a written schedule. So every day I get a reminder at about 7 o'clock that I need to exercise. And I always will anyway, but I like seeing that reminder. Once in a while, I get a day where like, I don't think I have time today, but that reminder comes in. I say, you know what, I could do that 4-minute workout, so I feel like I did something anyway. Pitfall planning. Um, Prepare for the challenges with a plan to overcome. This will make your goal more effective. Really important, because what ifs, if you're not able to achieve it because you don't feel well, what will you do? Well, the next day I'll do this, or whatever the thing that could stand in your way, even if it's yourself. What is your plan? Because if you have a plan, then it will help you to achieve your goal, and overcome whatever obstacle there is. Commitment, writing it down. A written commitment, you sign it for yourself and you write it down. And I do have on this page a great little sheet that I have, that if you're interested, I can send it to you, your goal achievement process, and you would be writing everything down, the reasons, the action steps, your pitfall plans, the commitment, accountability person, reminders and cues, and you're able to keep this for yourself so that you can keep track of things, and when you write it, it becomes more real. So this is a great tool to use if you're trying to set your goals and achieve them. So I hope that you find that this will be easy for you. I use it sometimes myself because it becomes something that I definitely know I'm going to do once I write it down. So we are at the end of our presentation. I hope that the healthy tips that I gave you will be something that you found value in. I want to tell you that I hope that you stay safe and well, and choose and plan to be happy, because you can decide that you are going to be happy, and make a plan, an intention to be happy. My contact information is gemma@gemmahealthcoach.com. My website is gemmahealthcoach.com, and I have future events is the Positive Psychology Skill Group, which is a 3-week group which will include positive wellness tools to increase your life satisfaction. So if you're interested, you can contact me about that, and I will be happy to share that information with you. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to this presentation. I hope that you found it helpful, and I look forward to hearing any comments or questions that you may have. So thank you again for taking the time. Best wishes for a very successful and happy 2022 and healthy 2022. Take care of yourselves. Thank you.